This was actually a viewer request. Someone asked me if I could compare the OnePlus Nord N20 to the Moto G Stylus for 2022. And I thought that was a pretty good idea because you're talking comparable in price, $282 for the N20, where you're looking in the 270-ish range, depending on where you get it, for the Moto G Stylus. You're limited to T-Mobile right now. T-Mobile, Mint Mobile it'll probably work on. Metro PCS for the Nord N20 have a bit more variety when it comes to the Moto G Stylus, but as with AT&T, as bad as they've been, it's weird. So you might want to stay to T-Mobile with your GSM devices. It just makes it easier. You don't have to worry about certification or any of that stuff, even though on AT&T you shouldn't really have a problem with your Moto G Stylus. I do get the updates, the over-the-air updates, faster when I have my T-Mobile SIM in my Moto devices versus when I have my AT&T SIM in there. They came out relatively at the same time, the Nord coming out a couple of months after this. All things being equal, I would probably select the Nord. And as much, but that being said, as much as I've gushed over the Nord N20, and rightfully so, this is a fantastic device, sub $300. And we're going to talk about some of the nonsense that I hear when it comes to this device a little bit later on in the video. That being said, I absolutely see reasons why you'd purchase the Moto G Stylus over the N20. I'm going to talk about those because that to me is the differentiating factor. So I'm going to talk about a couple different things. First thing is the stylus. The stylus in devices, whether it's just a stylus like they have in the Moto or it's an S Pen, somehow manages to be the most overhyped feature in tech, but also the most underappreciated feature in tech. And that's tough to do. Tough to be both of those things. I think so many people, whether it's for nostalgia, whether it's just they like it, whether they're just from the 90s and they think their devices should have a stylus, whatever it happens to be, everybody wants a stylus. But I don't know how many people actually pull their stylus out and use it more than once a month, once a week. You should be using it more. And Moto, with their software, actually helps with that a little bit when it comes to the stylus. So, first off, the one thing that I like that Moto does, are you a meme lord? You know, you're one of those guys that you're in the group chat and you want to go ahead and have that perfect GIF for any situation. Well, the Moto G Stylus helps you with that. You take out the stylus, you see I get the different options here, and one of them is GIF. So we're going to pull up a video, completely random video. Does it, total coincidence that we happen to be on the Steve Licious Tech channel. We're going to have to sit through ads, okay? Because, I need to get paid, but we'll do that. It's going to be 2 ads, of course, because I had this up before, but YouTube's going to go ahead and serve ads. But I'll do this I'm using one of my videos for copyright purposes. But see, there's the video. Okay, let's say you want to meme Steve Licious. You go ahead, you hit the little pen thing, you hit GIF, start recording, you drag the box where you need it, right? Pull this here, and start recording. And then when you got the section that you want me on loop, you go ahead, you do that, and there it is, right on loop there. You have no problems whatsoever. So you got to ask yourself, are you a troll? It's the internet, so the people, the percentage of people answering yes is probably higher than the regular population. That's fine. Be a better troll. Have your GIFs on point when it comes to your stylus and your battles back and forth. It also has a bunch of other nice things that you could do with it. It has the different stuff. You could kind of crop live images and go ahead and write on top of them once you're done. Then you have the regular just cropping if you want to crop stuff out. And then the screen write on top of stuff. You can write a new note. That's fantastic as well. I don't think people use, and this is something also that the Moto G Stylus software does, that the Samsung software does, and that's being able to just pull it out from a locked position. Go ahead, you're locked, right? Go ahead, pull out the pen, and you can go ahead and leave a note. How many times you want to get somebody's number, you want to write something down, jot something down real quick, and you want to use the pen for it, you pull it out, you don't have to worry about any lock screens or stuff like that, and just go to town. I think, personally, that's a great feature that's underutilized for a lot of different people. So you have your stylus, use it. And if you're somebody who does that, then the Moto G Stylus might be for you. The other thing is the Moto software. I like the way they lightly skin it. I like the features that they do add. I love the Moto gestures. I love the lock screen. Go ahead and pull that up, how you can see the notification. We talked about that when we were talking about the always on display video. I love being able to interact with my notifications right on the lock screen without having to unlock it. I could dismiss it, mark it as read, whatever you got to do, open it up for a response. I think that's really great. So if those things are what speak to you, then the Moto G Stylus is your device. Now, let's talk about the Nord N20, because when it comes to everything else, including screen, I know this has a 90 hertz display, and it does really well with the 90 hertz display. And when we talk about power with these two devices, I kept saying Dimensity because I'm just old and I forget these things, but it's actually the Helio G88 in the Moto G Stylus. Don't shy away from that. It runs the 90 hertz just fine. This is a beautiful panel. They do really nice with their LCDs. They do a great job with their LCDs. Great color, great contrast. 90 hertz runs well. Gaming is super smooth on. I was just playing some Pokemon Go earlier. It's a really nice experience at the 90 hertz. So don't think this is a slouch in any way. It's certainly not with the power. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it doesn't have the Snapdragon in it, I'm going to ignore it or just pass on it. I think that's a giant mistake. You're missing out on a great phone if this is the one that speaks to you. If none of those things matter to you, the Nord N20 is your device. This panel's nice. The 90 hertz is nice. The 60 hertz OLED over here is better. This is just an absolutely gorgeous screen to look at. It's fantastic. The performance is snappier. I like it a lot better here. I like the feel of this device, the N20 in the hand. This is a bulkier device. It's a bit bigger device, which is okay if you're looking for a larger screen. That might speak to you. But to me, just the thinness of this device, the way it carries in the hand, the screen, and the snappy performance of the 695. Battery life is actually comparable, by the way, which is a good thing. That's why it's a lot closer than you'd think, especially if those kind of extra features like the stylus do speak to you, then this has a distinct advantage. But the all-around, just pound per pound phone stuff that you're going to do, the experience on the N20 is going to be that much better, that much snappier. As much as I like the Moto stuff, I like Oxygen OS 11 a heck of a lot more. It's just a fantastic experience. And overall, and the people that used it, that's one of the great things that I've loved about this device, is every time that I talk to people who have used it, it's just been confirmation of how everybody is loving this device. The camera's also slightly better on it. I'm not going to go into a bunch of stuff there, but the camera is slightly better on this than the Moto G Stylus. They've done better on the Moto G Stylus than they have in the past, but it's still a little washed out compared to the OnePlus camera. Just an overall pound per pound phone experience. You're going to get a better overall experience on the OnePlus Nord N20 for a comparable price as well. The on-screen fingerprint sensor is nice. It's snappy. It works every time. It's just hard to explain the day-to-day usage of this device and how nice that is at this price range. First of all, it's nice to have two really great options at the sub $300 price range. That's first off. That's been rare. That's been, especially on the Android side, two really worthy, well-running devices sub $300 is nice to see. So hopefully the competition could ramp up a bit there. But I think just overall, day-to-day usage, the thinness, the headphone jack, which that does have as well. Expandable storage, USB-C charging, fast charging, which is great as well. 33-watt fast charging. I just really, really am enjoying this phone. And just the overall look of it, I prefer it. That's going to be an aesthetic call. That's going to be a subjective call. But in my mind, if you're not somebody who's going to use the Moto features, like the Moto gestures, like the stylus, then the N20 is going to get you a bit further down the line. Plus, I think it's 3 years of updates on the OnePlus Nord N20. You don't know with Moto now. Now they say one major update of Android. Maybe that'll come, and they're late with those major updates as it is. You know, it could be a year, it could be down the line. Who knows with that? So if you're also updates, security patches, being supported, optimized is your thing, then the Nord N20 for the similar price is going to come in a little bit ahead of that. But if you've used either one of these devices, let me know in the comment section below, because I don't think, let's say this, if you're watching this after your purchase, you're not losing with either one. Let's just make that clear. You're going to have a nice experience on either one of these devices. But all things considered, I think I'm picking up the Nord N20. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.